Y'all boys. Love you. Love you. I'll go to war with every single one of you every fucking game, all right? Love you, 1-7. Here we go. 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. Win.
Yeah. Please tell me that I can't, that I won't, that I fail, that I'll never make it out, yeah. Please tell me all the bad, never good, fill my head full of every single doubt, yeah. Please say any negative thoughts, I pop off when I hear people say I cannot. I get off to the thought of proving everyone wrong, I won't stop to the top, so you better back off and get lost. I'ma stay loud, stay proud, never running out, never heading south. I'll be spreading out, call it word of mouth, can't put me down, I'll be getting loud. You can have your doubts, not what I'm about, have your fucking clout, it be raining now, I keep making sound, go another round, bitch I'm legend bound, can't stop me now. You don't wanna fuck with me, a slow burn like a disease. Just tell me that I can and I'll show you things that you couldn't believe. Just tell me that I can. 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 It's showtime.
Okay.
Welcome to Friday Night Lights on the Mafia Sports Report. I'm your host, Tommy, and next to me is my main man, Mr. Mikey, also known as the Apex Man. Mikey, happy Friday to you, and happy Friday to all of Bill's Mafia out there, man. Happy July 4th, man. July 4th weekend coming up for everybody. Yep. So, man, it sucked that July 4th was on a Thursday. Right. But it is what it is. Mikey, I see you have both hands. Let me see. You have both hands?
I have both hands.
Okay, cool. All right, just making sure that you didn't blow your hand up, or let me see your eyes, your face. Everything's good.
I'm good. I'm good.
Okay.
Right. No drinking, no hangover. I'm good.
Okay. You didn't lose your ear or anything in the firework disaster. All right, just making sure. Okay.
Got all my limbs. No, we actually didn't set off fireworks. The people up the street had a big thing going on. My parents came over. We barbecued up, just kind of kicked back, relaxed, enjoyed the day. Nice. Fireworks are so expensive. And honestly, the amount of duds the people like up the street had, like I would have been so mad if I spent that much money on fireworks and like a third of them were duds.
By the way, real quick before we move on, people in the chat, can you hear us? Good. Everybody can hear us. And we switch platforms, and it's sometimes could be a little, a little clunky. So let us know if we're good, and we're gonna obviously continue on. But if we're bad, obviously we'll fix it. But anyways, yeah. Speaking of fireworks, I think it's overrated. I just do. I mean, I get it. I get. Everybody is into what they like, but like you said, a lot of money on fireworks just to kind of see it go away in a matter of seconds. People spend thousands of dollars. I'm not spending that money. And I'll be honest, as a kid, I really didn't. It wasn't really my thing. Like it was whatever. Like I wasn't super excited to see the fireworks. I was more like happy that we were off school or barbecue or whatever. But not my thing. But everybody to each his own. But yeah, man, crazy. Yeah. People spend a lot of money on it.
When I was little, we would go to Cal Expo and do the water park during the day, and then go over to the track and watch the fireworks at Cal Expo. It was like where you'd go. As I got older, we would barbecue and swim during the day, and then we'd go out some hunt and do stuff. My daughter, is 15, getting ready to turn 16. She's not really all into that. She would much rather us go buy some food, barbecue, watch movies, and just kind of hang out. She's kind of over the whole fireworks thing.
Exactly. Yeah, I actually went live, Mikey, for my 3rd annual Nathan's hot dog eating contest with my buddy Miles, and had a blast, a good time. But that Joey Chestnut was not able. They did not let him.
He has that new deal where he has vegan dogs.
A vegan dog. So Nathan's was like, nah, that's not probably good. But I got to be honest with you. I will say this. I think I had a better time this year watching it than previous years because there was competition. It went down to the wire. Like it was kind of when Joey was there, you knew by like
And
the
then
6th minute, it was over.
Tobiyashi or whatever. His name is.
Kobayashi, he hasn't been in it for he hasn't been, but there's been no competition, right? He's kills people by like 20, 30 dogs, right? This year, Mikey, I'm telling you, I was calling it. That shit came down to like the final minute. And it was fun. It was interesting to finally see guys like really competing it. Like, there was a chance for anyone to win at a certain point. I thought it was fun. But on a side note, Joey Chestnut did his own. Like he went somewhere else and they did their own. 5 minutes. They only did 5 instead of 10. He ate 56 and 5. The guy that won it ate 58 and 10.
Yeah. It's like it's kind of unfair with those two there. Every year, nobody else had a chance.
Nobody, zero.
The competition was those two. That was what you went to watch. So now, somebody else gets to get in there and give it a shot. So
right, they had a lemonade contest as well, which I saw later. Some guy, he's a YouTube guy. Anyways, he was hurling lemonade. You know what it reminded me of? Did you see it, by the way, or no?
No.
Okay. Did you ever see Stand By Me? You had to, correct?
Yes. Yeah.
Do you remember the scene where Lardass ate the blueberry pie? The story, he mixed it with some alcohol and threw up on everybody, and then everybody started throwing up on everybody else. Bro, it reminded me of that. So he drank the lemonade, and bro, he was hurling lemonade. Dude.
And if he starts hurling, I'm hurling. Like, dude, that's one thing I can't do. I cannot watch someone else throw up and not join in.
Yeah, dude, you got to go back and watch Stand By Me. Great movie, but that scene was epic.
Yeah.
But yeah, this guy was throwing up lemonade. Like, I mean, they had to finally get him off stage, bro. But yeah, classic.
What's going on, Robert? How you doing? So, what do we got on tap for tonight, Tommy?
Oh, so we got, you're gonna always get with the NFL news because I don't always stay on top of that. I will say this real quick before you go on the NFL news. I did watch today because I have HBO Max the Giants' first episode of Hard Knocks.
What'd you think?
I thought it was good. I didn't watch last year's because I could care a lot. I think it was the Dolphins last year. I do not care, or the Jets, whoever it was.
Done the off-season version of it.
Right. Either way, I'll watch it, but I liked it. Like, I thought it was interesting because I'm not an enemy of them. And it's a lot of guys, Brian Dable, Shane is there. Like, so it was interesting. It was definitely interesting to see how they value a running back.
Yep. I saw the clip with him, and it was Dan Morgan, it was Shane,
yes,
Senior Bowl together. And Shane's like, "Hey, you guys want to move up to 6?" And then he threw out the whole Brian Burns thing, and then they start talking that. Like, that was the only thing I've seen of it,
which was surprising. Where is Burns now? Is he still in Carolina?
No, the Giants.
Oh, okay.
So
I don't follow along with that. That's funny. See, I didn't know that. That's even crazier.
Yeah. So it's funny how that all starts. You know what I mean? Those conversations.
Little conversations like
three
that.
Buddies who were all in Buffalo, just a few years ago, now having these conversations that lead to guys being moved. Yeah. Brian Burns is on the Giants now with a 6-year, $100 million deal.
See, yeah, and I'm sure I'll get to that when I watch episode 2 or 3 of this.
Yeah, wherever that lands.
Yeah. Now, they were talking about Devin Singletary a lot. His name got brought up a few times.
He's their back.
Correct. That I know. But I'm just saying, because they were talking about possible free agents. Zach Moss was another name they brought up, and I'm like, I already know this one. But anyways, go ahead, Mikey. Around the news league.
So Buckins, any news on Rice and his legal situation? No. That's been mum on what's going on with Rice.
For the Chiefs? Yeah, nothing.
Yeah.
Right,
So around the news, Dak in a walking boot.
Yeah.
Going into his last year. They got a picture of it. I guess he had to have an MRI. They're saying it's a sprain, but if he's in a walking boot already, that's not good.
No, not good. Not
good.
Not good.
Away from the team too.
Yeah, it was, I guess, maybe a freak thing. But still, golly, nothing worse than that because we don't know how bad. If he's in a walking boot, it had to have been pretty severe. You know what I mean? That's not like a typical sprain. Yeah. But man, good luck.
Right. TMC Don says, will Barkley be good on the Eagles? It depends on what the offensive line looks like without Jason Kelce. Most of them are still there. Dickerson's still there. Mulata's still there. Lane Johnson's still there. They're moving Juergens from right guard into center, and then they're going to have a new right guard. So as long as they don't shit the bed on who they got to backfill that right guard position, I think it's going to be the best Barkley's look. This is going to be the best offense he's ever played on.
Yeah, absolutely. With that offensive line, I mean, and a better quarterback, like just a better overall team.
Better offense, better scheme.
Better offense, probably better. From coach, what would you say? The coach is better, right?
No, I still like Dable. I'm not a big Sirianni guy. Sirianni's only a head coach.
Okay, I still think the questions. I still think there's a big question mark on Dable. I think his first year is fine. Like I understand he proved a lot of gotten him in the playoffs, but his second year was shaky, and I don't know if I like his decision making so far in like keeping Daniel Jones, okaying that contract. You know what I mean? Like I don't know. Like we'll see. I'll tell you what, this will be an important. I'm not
serious
for Dable.
I'm just not.
Yeah. I hear you. I just don't know how Dable will work out. Well, this is a big year for him. Yeah, he's gonna have to prove something in New York because I'm gonna tell you, New York media and fans don't wait around long before they start booing you out.
Same with the Philly fans. Like they were talking about replacing Sirianni this last offseason after going to the Super Bowl and then collapsing down the stretch the way they did. Because you have to remember they didn't really. I don't think they won again after they beat us.
Yeah,
they went into a massive tailspin.
Yeah. They did. That was weird, right? You would have figured they would have been the other way around, right? Like tough game.
No, it just shows you how bad McDermott was.
Right. God.
Daniel comes in and says Dak heard it, lifting his checkbook, right? Jones isn't the answer in NYC. No, Jones is not the answer. I think they know that. He is not the answer. Like Dable and Shane got saddled with Daniel Jones by the ownership.
Yeah,
who loved him for whatever reason. So.
Seems like the ownership kind of they didn't want to let Barkley go either. Like if you when you go and watch that, I think it was the owner that came in or was like CEO or something like that.
They bet on Jones over Barkley. They gave Jones the big deal and then just franchise Barkley.
I mean, typically you should do that if you have a
good quarterback. Yeah, if you have a good quarterback. Right. Like you were better off playing Tyrod or Gardner Minshew or one of those guys and keeping Barkley.
Right.
But hey, it is what it is, Yeah, but they had the ability to get rid of Jones, and they didn't. They did. They gave him $40 million a year. I mean, I guess that's better than the 55 that all the other quarterbacks are getting. Like look at Miami. Miami hasn't paid Tua yet. They're like, we're not sure.
And I think I saw our buddy Curtis do a video. I didn't watch it yet, but he also mentions Hill. Like maybe there's like something going on over there where could get a little like shaky in Miami with those two wanting their contracts. And Miami not Miami may not pay up. It's going to be interesting to see what they do.
The Giants picked fifth, so they would have gotten either Penix or JJ McCarthy. And depending on how you felt about them, Beth, like I don't know if either one of them are better than what they have with Daniel Jones right now. It depends on how you feel about him.
I'm not McCarthy. I'm not sold on at all. Penix is interesting. He's an interesting player to me, but he could also be a major bust. I didn't like. I'll be honest. I didn't like the quarterbacks in this draft at all. I didn't like any of them. None of them really shine. I think he has potential, but I also think he has major potential of being a big time bust. Every time I saw him play a big game in college, it seemed like he just shit the bed. And I don't know. I just we'll see what they got.
He beat up on the the jobbers, and then when he played good teams, he struggled.
Yep, struggled and got upset, really like crying and stuff. Like
I will say, the Bears have done a really good job of putting pieces around him this year.
Absolutely.
So,
Yeah.
he's in the best situation for a quarterback that can go.
Yeah.
He has
I
3
agree.
legit receivers, a rebuilt offensive line. His running back core could be a little bit better, but other than that, he has
No.
Roshan Johnson and Swift.
Yeah. Swift's okay.
Yeah.
It's not like a bum.
No, he's not bum, but could be better. And that defense is gotten a lot better too over the last 2 years.
Absolutely.
So, it'll be interesting to see how that plays out. Daniel Garson says Hill wants a raise after Waddle got his new deal. Yeah, Hill's out in the media talking about how he wants more money now too.
Of course,
Miami. Good luck.
This is how it works, man. Like it's funny how everybody was like, other fan bases want to talk shit like when another team like us has to are in cap issues or needs to get rid of players.
We chose to get rid of them.
No, I'm just saying, it's just funny how fan base are like, oh, look at you got, and it's like, bro, you don't think you'll be next in this cap casual, you don't think players are gonna want to get paid, and you're gonna have to make really bad decisions, or players are gonna or get disgruntled because they're not getting paid. Guess what? It's gonna happen. It happens to every team, almost every team. And guess what? Some players get what they want, and some don't, and they get traded.
Oh. Look at Kansas City. They paid Chris Jones. They paid Kelsey. Mm-hmm. They had to get rid of Snead, who's one of the best corners in the league.
It's the way it works, man.
It's the way. I mean, they had to let Willie Gay go. You know what I mean? So some of those defensive guys are now leaving too. And next year they're gonna have to pay Creed and Trey Smith, and they're gonna have to refix that offensive line. So it'll be interesting to see how they play that out too. It all worked. Burrow got paid. Jamar's about to get paid. Higgins is up for a new deal. They already got rid of Mixon. You know what I mean? So, the Bengals are looking at, a different setup as well in the next year or so.
Right.
So, the ex-49er DB Gibson was banned for 6 games for PEDs.
Rough.
So he's a free agent right now. So if anybody picks him up, he'll be sitting on the sidelines for 6. John Gruden lost his court battle, and then he appealed it and lost that.
So that's it for that. Okay.
Mm-hmm. The Pats gave linebacker Tavai a 3-year extension. I don't know how many linebackers they can play, but they keep giving their linebackers and their safeties extensions. They have 9 at each spot that are on the roster, all that got extensions. So be interesting to see. Defensive back John Johnson III is back with the Rams. I like John Johnson. He was one of the guys I hoped we
resign. Okay.
Yeah. He resigned back with the Rams. Former number 1 pick Russell fired his coach, faces a lawsuit.
Ooh.
Jamarcus just can't stay out of trouble. And then star wide receiver Brandon Ayuk wants to stay with the 49ers. He's doing a lot of talking for wanting to stay with an organization.
Does he remind you of anybody?
Yes. The guy who just got shipped to Houston.
Right. Because I remember that was a big.
At least
Diggs wanted that money too when we want.
Yeah,
when
that was
didn't
FaceTime anybody and put people on blast like the way Ayuk is doing.
This is a new age, Joe. This is what these players do. They think that's what's going to work, and sometimes it's gonna. I'm telling you, man, it's a bad. I think here's the deal, man. I think the smart players in the league let their agents handle it. Don't let your you don't need to do both. You don't need to be your agent and a player. That's what you hire an agent for. I never liked the idea of being your own agent. I didn't like Lamar Jackson, for instance, being his own agent, and he has to work dude, that's what they're there for. I get it. Agents have to take some money, but at the same time, man, they're there to make you rich, give you the best deal. And they're get it done. You concentrate on football. You don't need to.
They help your PR, your image as well.
Absolutely. And then when you get on there and you start making a fool, that's why you see a lot of time agents, they leave. They'll leave their players go because they don't want the mess. They don't want the drama.
Yeah.
So yeah, I don't know. I just think some of these guys just need to let their agents do their thing, and it'll all work out for the most part.
Best asking, noticing that no one has number 23. Is Hyde coming back? I think it's a 50-50.
Yeah, I it's a toss. I think if it's going to happen, I'll tell you what. I think it's going to depend how training camp goes. How about that? I think it's going to depend on what they feel like that safety room is looking like with the young guy, with the guys they brung in, with Rapp, and
Edwards and Bishop.
Edwards. I think it'll be more of a communication thing, and I think you might even see Hyde at camp, but not just be there as like with the coaches, watching.
Like Kyle, you came in and
observing, observing, right, helping out, but at the same time, talking back and forth with McDermott and going, hey, because I'm sure McDermott's going to eventually tell him, if you can, I really need you, right? If it happens, or if it doesn't, maybe he says, hey, man, if we need you, if you do want to come back, whatever, we'll call. You know what I mean? Like stand on standby, whatever. Maybe that will happen. I don't know, but right now, I don't think he's coming back.
I personally think it's going to be in Hyde's court. If Hyde wants to play, they're going to give him a contract. If Hyde doesn't want to play and just wants to be the break glass in case of emergency, like Klein was last year, then that's what they'll do. But if Hyde gets that itch come, mid-August, I would not be surprised that Buffalo signs him to a 1-year cheap deal and he comes in and he's starting at free safety for us next to either Rapp or Bishop.
I'm with you. Yeah, I can see that.
I'm with you, Scott. I think it's in Hyde's corner. I think he's going to decide. I don't think it's going to be a Bills decision. I think they want him back, and if he wants to come back, I think they're going to take him back.
Yeah.
I have a funny feeling he'll end up coaching here in the future. I would not be surprised. The problem is the coach, depending on what they do, that's a lot of extra hours. I don't know if Hyde's going to be into all those extra hours.
Right. Like, is his love for football that deep where he's willing to sacrifice family time for coaching?
He has young kids.
Yeah. And coaching is even more grueling. Like those dudes work overtime and have to they go they're there after the players
they're
leave.
14, 15 hours a day in the office.
Right.
And a lot of those guys, you go from making multi-million-dollars to making, $700,000 as an assistant position coach. And then work that many extra hours. That's a tough, you have to really love that grind.
You have to love the grind. And then also too, I feel like a lot of those guys, their outlook is to become a head coach eventually. And I don't know if Micah Hyde wants to be a head coach. I never heard that. You know what I mean? I don't know if that's something that
with young kids, I have a hard time seeing him wanting to go put those kind of hours in. I could see him doing, kind of like what Eric Wood did and what Kyle Williams did and what Luke Kuechly does. Pops in and spends like a week or two at camp every year with the guys. But once he's done, I can't see him wanting to put that kind of time in with young kids. If his kids were older, I could see it, but he has two really young kids. That's one of the reasons why he's talking about walking away.
Yeah, I'm with you there. Yep.
Yeah, Scott. Who was it? It was I heard it on Pat McAfee's show. He had he was old center, and he said he did the position coach thing. He's like, going from being an all-pro center or a Pro Bowl center to having to change toner and copy machines at 4:00 in the morning is quite a difference in how life works. A lot of guys don't have that ego; they can't do that. That, or he's taking over as a second with Matty Glab as a reporter. I could see him getting into the media, doing some kind of media thing with the Bills. Because when he got hurt, he spent that whole season doing media stuff with the Bills.
Yeah,
I could totally see him getting into the media game. Not nearly the amount of time like Eric Wood and Tasker and all those guys do. I could see him having like a show once a week. So, and then the last one I had around the football around the league was: did you see Jay Gruden's comment on Josh Allen on the Colt McCoy podcast?
I did. I saw it. Somebody we were talking. Somebody did a YouTube video, like a reaction to it, and yeah, I totally agree with Gruden. It's just, you know, I love when realistic people have to give realistic answers to people who are so like out of tune on what is like really going on.
Yeah,
and
Justin
those
Pugh was
guys,
the one who said it too. He's a
right,
former center.
right,
Like, what are you talking
right.
about?
Like some of these like guys, like people that comment on, it's mind boggling. It's like, what are you watching? What are like? I just don't understand sometimes. That's why like I almost just give up in the argument factor of like what Josh Allen brings to the table, you know, how good he truly is, you know, like,
yeah, he's like,
I mean,
what?
What
He's like, he has to step up and make plays. You're like, are you watching the same thing I'm watching? Like,
right.
he's not the reason why they're losing in the playoffs.
Right. Absolutely. He acts like he's like, listen, we're realists. Me and you are very real. If Josh Allen every year got in the playoffs and was absolutely just like throwing interceptions and fumbling and just really playing bad football, I would sit here and tell you, yes, Josh Allen has been bad in the playoff. I'm not going to sugarcoat it, but it's the total opposite. I think Josh Allen's had maybe, in my opinion, I would say the Bengals game wasn't his best, but that was also a team thing. I think the whole team didn't show up. And I would say that 2020 Chiefs game where the Chiefs kind of spanked us there.
And the AFC championship game?
Yes. Yeah, exactly. The first one in 2020. And I almost feel like it was just, we were on such a high that
we were happy to be there.
We were happy to be there, but we weren't ready. You know what I mean? Yeah. But we weren't really ready. Yeah. We were ready, I believe, when we blew the 13 seconds. Yeah. You know, but Josh Allen really, honestly, I would say one, maybe two games where he kind of underperformed, and it really even then wasn't horrendous. You know what I mean? It wasn't like, oh my God, he's so bad out there. So yeah, I don't know.
So what do you think about by the way, Scott, I'm with you. He's a realist. 20 knows what do you think about Nick Wright's comment on Lamar? Did you see his comment on Lamar?
I didn't hear what he said.
So they asked, we're gonna hit Chris Sims top 40 tonight, right?
Yeah.
And they were talking about Chris Sims top 40, and they said Josh Allen at 2. He's like, that's fine. I can't argue that. But they talked about Lamar at 3. And Broussard was talking about how he can make the argument that Lamar should be 2. And Nick Wright's like, what are you talking about? He's like, I would put like 5 other quarterbacks above him if I had to win. Wow. He's like, why would you say that? And he said, ultimately, he's like, when you consistently play your worst game in the playoffs,
there it is,
and you're one of the reasons why you lose, you're not one of the best quarterbacks in the league. I'm sorry. You can have the regular season awards.
Yeah. See, and I didn't see that, but I never agree with Nick Wright. But I will,
because he talks out of both sides of his mouth.
Yeah, but I will say he has a point, a valid point when it comes to Lamar Jackson in the playoffs. He does not step up in the big moments. At least not now. Now, can he moving forward? Maybe Lamar will he eventually rise to the occasion? It's possible. Lamar's a good quarterback. But right now, I haven't seen that. And yeah, MVPs are great, but that's a regular season MVP. Means nothing once you get to the playoffs. Ask Aaron Rodgers, who won it 2 years in a row and they got bumped. Even really, let's be real, even Heisman Trophy winners don't often make it in the NFL, don't often work out. Like they aren't national champions. Right. They just happen to have a really good year, and it is what it is. So it's a nice award, but I think sometimes people are too caught up with it. Like that means he's the best. Like, you know, this guy's the best. He has to be the number 2 quarterback. He has to be. No,
the NFL MVP award has become the best quarterback on the best team award.
It seems that way, doesn't it? It really does. Yeah. I mean, it shouldn't be. But whatever. Like at this point, it's almost like a Pro Bowl. I'm almost looking like a Pro Bowl. Right? Yeah. Like it's almost meaningless at this point.
I would like them to get back to it. You know what I mean?
Hey,
so we're talking about Bass now. Can't go into the season with Bass. Bass or Martin or Hack. Hack is gone, so it's Bass, Martin, or Browning. You know, what's going on, Mafia? Talk.
Hey, man, it's our buddy who's on not every Wednesday, but he's every other Wednesday, I believe. But once training camp, once things start picking up, they'll be on every Wednesday. I think they switched times, right? Jay, you're going to be starting at 8 p.m. moving forward. But yeah, man, check him out. Also, Mikey, I got to say, he is going to be doing commentary for Stevie Johnson's basketball. He is having like a 3-on-3 tournament or something.
All right.
And so our buddy on Mafia Sports Report is going to be there live streaming it, I guess. Pretty cool. And he's going to be doing a commentary. So give him some support, show him some love. Watch his channel. He'll give you the updates on like where to go, where to watch, whatever, all that good stuff.
Nice.
Yeah.
Scott comes in and says, Bass his ass. Sick of tightening my finger every time he kicks. Well, guess what, guys?
Man,
we're stuck with him this year. There's no way out.
It's crazy how that turned around for Bass, right? Like we all loved him at one point. And I got to say, though, I don't totally hate him still. Like I still want him. Obviously, I want him to turn around. And I also think Bass is a good dude. Like anybody that is does stuff for animals, right? And
yeah,
he does
I love
with
that.
The cat. Like I respect the hell out of anyone that does something like that. So like I thought it was so weird because I felt so bad after I freaked out on him. It's a Chiefs going live. And my first words are
40-something.
Yeah, we went live and like fuck you. Or whatever I said.
You were not happy with that.
Yeah, and then I see this 2 weeks later, a month later, special on how he's helping animals, cats.
He has a cat house.
Why do you do that to me, man? That's right. So I want him to work out, but yeah, I'm with you. I'm nervous.
You don't have to apologize to me. I'm with you. He's I don't know if he's broken. He cost way too freaking much. He got his contract and but really he hits what he is what he has been all year. The difference was last year he wasn't clutch. He wasn't hitting clutch kicks down the stretch. But he's been about, no higher than 88% every year.
It's not.
He hasn't been an elite kicker, but we're paying him like he's an elite kicker.
Yeah, and that once again that goes on Brandon Beam for some time.
Yeah.
Sometimes they like signing these certain guys, man. It's
they're homegrown guys.
They're homegrown guys. Stevie Johnson's second annual 3vs3 tournament, live commentary and show, and hopefully interview Stevie. Yeah, man. I interviewed Stevie Johnson last year. Was it last year? I think it was last year. Great dude. 2 years ago. Okay. Really good guy. So yeah, I think he'll give you that interview. But yeah, really, I'm just glad he gave you the opportunity to do that, man. So that's pretty cool in itself, man.
Right. I'm with you, Scott. I had, I felt like gut punch all over again. Now if he makes that, I have zero faith that our defense is stopping Patrick Mahomes with 2 minutes left.
Yeah.
However, I would have felt much better about him making that and making the Chiefs go out and do it.
Yes, I agree with you. Because then at least I would have been like, hey, at least our kicker did his job. Right? Like we would have came on and been like, at least he was clutch, unlike the defense.
Who was hurt. We had guys, subbing in all over the place.
Right.
Down the stretch got beat.
Yeah.
That happens.
Yeah, I agree with you. We talked about that right after the game. We were like, even if he makes it, there's way too much time on the clock. And like that just goes back to why are you going for a field goal there? Just go for it. Like, what are you doing? We need more points.
A 40-something yarder, and he didn't want to tie it up.
Yeah, but to me, it's like we need more points than 3 at that point. And if you get a first down, you kill more time.
Yeah,
right.
You
just
take
throwing that out there.
Because here's what happens: he goes for it, we don't get it. McDermott's getting murdered for not taking the points.
But I get that, but he also punted the ball. He also did a fake punt at our 10.
Right. And didn't leave the ball in Josh's hands.
Right. Because he was
a fake punt with Damar Hamlin of all people.
Because he said he didn't trust our defense. He flat out said at that point of the game, the Chiefs are going to score when they touch the ball. So if you really felt that way, What are you doing there? You go for a first down, you kill the clock, you give them barely any time, you score a touchdown, game the fuck over, right? Or you go for an easier field goal.
Game over. We can't say game over until there's zeros on the clock.
I'm sorry. Take it back. If it had a 0 on the clock, we scored a touchdown. Because I don't even trust them in 1 second. Knowing us, we kick it out of bounds at the 40. They Hail Mary it.
And they catch it.
And they catch it, right? That would so be what would happen, right?
Yeah. I don't ever trust the Bills win until I see zeros on the clock. Ever.
Bro, I am so with you. And the best example is that Vikings game.
The Vikings game, the Cardinals game. Josh throws the touchdown and they let the Hail Mary go.
Yes, that was so brutal.
Against our 3 all pros.
Right.
It was against 3 all pros.
Yes, Trey, Micah, and Jordan, man.
Yep.
Like it's tough being Bills fans sometimes.
Hell, like even last year with the Broncos game. Like they miss it, game over, and like, oh, too many guys on the field. Like, what are you doing?
The Eagles game.
The Eagles game. Like, oh God.
60-something. I'm like, this guy's not going to make this, right?
A freaking monster, right? He makes it.
Rushing out there, by the way.
God.
Oh, man. If it happens to us, man.
All right. What else is on tap? That was around the league.
I do got something interesting because you know it's funny that you did bring that Lamar thing up. So let me show you something here. I thought it was kind of interesting what I saw. And I want to get your thoughts on it. All right. So can you read that, or do I need to zoom that in better? So what do you feel about that?
I saw this last year.
Yeah. What do you feel about that? Like, kind of close.
I didn't think Lamar deserved the MVP last year.
But I mean, those numbers are very similar. I would say the rushing, obviously, a little bit more, right? The passing, about 600 more. But damn, not far off. Completion percentage, a little better, 63 to 67. But it's not like
MVP
awful.
worthy. I mean,
that's what I mean. It's not MVP worthy.
Got replaced like a year after this.
Correct. And now I don't even feel that was Tyrod Taylor's best season. Was it with us? Was it his best? I don't think so. I could be wrong.
Stat-wise, yes. Stat-wise,
yeah. Okay.
But that wasn't the year that we went to the playoffs.
Right, 2017, yeah, where you got benched.
It's just like nothing about Lamar's stat season last year screams MVP.
Right.
There was 2 games that he went off in. The 49ers game and was it the Eagles game? I think it was the Eagles and 49ers like back to back. He just went off. And everyone just like clinched it. Like, okay, he wins it.
And then we got this, which is so odd. I love when players are just themselves and go out and just have a good time. So this is at Dawson Knox's wedding, right?
Yeah, and there's our new center right next to Josh.
Yep.
They have been like attached to the hip.
Have a good time there. Don't want to get copyrighted for the song, so turn it down. But yeah, they're just having a blast, man, which is awesome. Awesome to see.
This is Dawson's wedding, right?
Yeah, Dawson's wedding. So pretty damn cool, man. Good to see them having a good time out there, not worrying about football, right? Like just kicking it with the boys. Yeah, him and Dawson are close, though, man. Him and Dawson, I felt like that was a real, like, I'm not saying him and Stephon was like a fake friendship, but I always felt like Dawson, Knox, and Josh Allen were
Dawson,
a lot closer.
Gabe,
Yeah.
Kincaid, like Josh and Steph had a working relationship.
That's how I feel like, yeah.
They didn't go kick it off the field very often.
No, I feel like the media made it that way.
Yeah, you saw Gabe there. You saw Dawson always there. Last year, you saw Kincaid always there. You see those type of things. So it'll be interesting.
All right, so you want me to pop that up?
Josh did have better stats than Lamar. The reason why Josh didn't win MVP last year is due to his turnovers. The media refused to. They played the narrative as he's the most turnover-prone quarterback in the league, regardless that he led the league in touchdowns and yards.
Yep, they throw that right back in his face every time. They act like he had like a season like Jameis Winston had,
right?
where it was like, like how many did he have that season? 20 something.
30 and 30. He went 30 and 30.
With like 5,000 yards, right? Too.
Yeah,
like,
he had 5,000, 30 and 30.
I gotta
and
say,
he couldn't see. He was before he got his LASIK surgery.
I will say though, if he cut that down to like 18, even 20,
he may win MVP.
That is a hell of a season. Those are great numbers, Mikey. Cut the interceptions down a little bit, even a little, and man, that's impressive. Like I don't think Winston was as bad as a lot of people thought.
But that team wasn't great, and that's why he had the stats that he had.
No, I get it, but man,
throwing.
I mean, that dude, he had no fear. Like I liked that approach from him, but he was a turnover machine.
Bass is 4.4 million. That was his APY, but we can get out of it next year. So he yes, technically he signed through 2027, but we can get out next year.
Yeah, he better step up this year.
Yeah, Mitch Morris was at the wedding too. I saw the pictures.
Oh, that's nice. That's nice.
You know, like you have to remember, like Mitch is the only center that Josh really knows.
Truly, yeah, pretty much right. He
was
there his
Eric
second
Wood
year?
was year one, and then he had to retire, and then went to Mitch, and then Mitch has been it.
Right. Probably helped him out a lot too, like just building his everything, character on the field, stuff like that.
Before that, he was with Alex Smith and Patrick Mahomes and Andy Reid.
Right.
So should have been CMC or Hill for MVP. It should have been Christian McCaffrey. Christian McCaffrey was the NFL MVP.
I think so too. Yeah.
Problem is they
don't like giving it to running back.
Yeah, Hill got hurt. And he fell off at the end of the year because he got hurt.
Yeah,
that's why I don't think Tyreek would have been it. But it should have been CMC. He should have been the MVP.
I agree. I agree with that.
That dude is a monster.
When healthy, if he's healthy, he's unbelievable, man. I really, because I didn't watch a lot of him in Carolina. Like I watched highlights because I watched my Bills game, but I watched a lot of him last year. And man, he's dynamic, bro. He is dynamic. He is tough to bring down. He is fast. Like, man, he is everything you want in a running back, dude. He just has to stay healthy. If he's, like I said, healthy, no one's touching Christian McCaffrey, bro. He is the number one running back right now in the NFL when healthy, period.
Yeah, no, I'm with you on that. Yeah, and I'm with you on the Josh thing. At the end of the day, some of those picks weren't his fault. Some of the turnovers weren't his fault. But there's some of them that were. Like there was 2 games that we lost strictly because Josh turned the ball over.
Bad decision making. Yeah, the Jets game week 1. I thought he made some very poor decisions. I thought the moment, I don't know what he was doing week 1.
He had a bad game. It happens.
It does happen. Yeah, and it was week 1. You get, I'm sure emotions are running high.
If you hear the stories, it's kind of where Josh and Steph's relationship really broke was week 1. Because Steph went over
in the locker.
Yeah. And Josh was like, it was only one freaking game. Back the hell off.
Right. It's fine. I agree. Yeah.
Like, what are we doing?
But like to Jay's point, there was a ton of games where he's, Gabe Davis is not fighting for the ball, or he's not turning around.
Yeah. Going the wrong way.
Or at least poke the ball, or at least try to, because the best receivers or the receivers, even if a bad thrown ball, they will try to get back on the ball to at least get the defender not to get the interception. Like at least make a play on the ball where it's batted out of bounds, whatever they need to do where it's not turned over. Like those are the better receivers. That's what they do. And Diggs, for the most, I would say Diggs did that too. Like Diggs was pretty decent at that, but Gabe Davis was, I don't know what he did last year, but
whatever he did, he got himself a payday.
He did. I agree with that too. But we'll see what happens this year, like I said, man. But yeah, I think a lot of those, or some of those at least, were not Josh's fault. Bouncing off receivers' hands. I mean, think about it. Like the Dalton kick, was that an interception? That was a fumble, right? But I think Kincaid had one bounce off and went to somebody.
Yeah,
I think
he had a couple. One. Gabe had one that went right through his hands.
Right. So
receiver's hands.
I mean, whose fault? It's going to go on Josh. It's going to look like Josh do a terrible pass, like on the stat sheet. It wasn't his fault. So, but you could say a lot of quarterbacks too have that happen as well. So I'm not going to.
And then some of them get really lucky where they drop them when they're bad passes.
I've seen
Patrick
that.
Mahomes has been so lucky. Like last year, there was 2 quarterbacks that were super lucky like that. Patrick Mahomes and CJ Stroud. CJ Stroud had so many that should have been picked that they just dropped.
They just drop, yeah.
So it is what it is. At the end of the day, it's sometimes it's luck. Now maybe we can get off this narrative that after this year that Diggs made Josh. Stephon Diggs wasn't even a wide receiver 1 before he came to Buffalo. So let's get off the narrative that
I agree with that.
Josh.
I agree with that. Are you ready for this list?
Yeah.
All right, so this is the Chris Sims list, by the way.
Yeah.
You all know how I feel about Chris Sims, so take it for what it is.
Wishy-washy guy.
Yeah, I'm glad he put Josh there, but it's Chris Sims. You know what I mean? Like I'm shocked. I'll be honest with you that he didn't put like Burrow ahead of him because he's so wishy-washy when it comes to Josh Allen and the Buffalo Bills. But here's the list. So we'll go through the top 40, and then we'll talk about it. So Patrick Mahomes, number 1, which is correct. I feel like obviously
I do agree that. However,
go ahead.
Jay Gruden did say, if you take Josh Allen and you put him with Andy Reid and that team, they're doing the same thing. And he's probably not wrong.
I will agree with that too. They are very similar, and I think Josh runs better. I know he does. So
I think Patrick's a little bit smarter with the ball.
He's smarter.
Doesn't put it in danger as much as Josh does.
I agree with that too. He
mentally
goes to
Pat's better. Physically, Josh is better.
Yeah, I agree with that too. He doesn't always try to force things like Josh. Josh gets a little too much
frustrated.
Where he wants to force.
He gets a little frustrated and pushes the ball, forces it.
Yep. Hopefully that, like I said, that is starting to change. And that it might. Yeah. Josh Allen number 2, Joe Burrow number 3, Lamar number 4.
Do you think Joe's still number 3? He hasn't finished. A couple seasons. Can you be the third best quarterback if you can't finish a season?
I would put him ahead out of right now. I definitely would have put him ahead of Lamar Jackson. Yes.
Healthy Joe, yes. I can see.
But Lamar's not healthy all the time either.
I know. That's why I'm saying, would you put those guys 3?
I would because now you're looking at Matt Stafford. I think Matt Stafford's way too high on this. Like I like Matt Stafford. I do.
I don't. I think Matt Stafford's right where he should be.
No,
Matt Stafford's about consistent as they come.
I think he is. He's a tough. But if I'm starting a team today, right? He is not. I am out of these guys right here. Just this top 8 right here that I'm looking at. There's no way I'm putting Stafford ahead of any of these guys on my team. I'm talking about right now starting team. Now we're talking about a few years back or whatever when Stafford can move a little bit better and stuff like.
Okay. You're saying as of today.
As of today,
I put Stafford and Aaron Rodgers kind of in that same boat.
Yeah, I just want it. I can't. Like I just feel like Stafford's getting older. He's getting a little bit slower.
I think I would have Herbert. I think I would have Herbert at 5.
Yeah. I think
Stroud's it's only been 1 season. It's only been 1 season.
I think Stroud. I would bump Dak ahead of Stroud because we don't know yet what Stroud will be.
I would put Dak at 6. I'd put Stroud at 7. I don't think I'd have Stafford in my top 8.
Exactly.
This year Stafford.
That's what I'm saying. Exactly. Yeah. Jalen Hurts 9. Like I would have Hurts ahead of Matt Stafford, for instance. I think he does a little bit more. Jared Goff is interesting to me.
See, this is where I would probably drop Stafford down to 10.
And put Goff where? 11? 12?
Yeah.
I'm not totally sold on Goff either. I think Goff
he had a really good year last year, but he wasn't great the year before.
But he has hella offensive line.
Yeah.
Right.
And a great running game.
Yeah, probably the best offensive line, if we're gonna be honest. Like one of the best. He has really good receivers right now. Like his receivers are top notch. Like I like his receivers. And he has a really good running game. And his defense is also pretty damn solid. And a hell of a coach who believes in his players, right? Yeah. And just takes chances.
And but he doesn't play well outside of Detroit.
Yes, and he is strictly a pocket passer, boy. When he gets pressured, when he moves out of the pocket, he fumbles. He is terrible. Fumbles a lot. Like players barely tap him. He's dropping the ball on the ground. So I think this team and this coach and this system really helps Goff.
I would probably drop. I'd probably drop Goff to like 13.
I agree with that. Yep.
I want to hit on Jay's point here because, in my opinion, Burrow's overrated. Don't get me wrong; he's a great quarterback, but he's played one full season out of 3 years. Not only that, the last time Joe Burrow didn't have elite weapons, he couldn't beat out. The Ohio State quarterback, and he had to go. He had to change colleges. Then he got Jamar Chase and Justin Jefferson, and then he got Jamar Chase and T. Higgins.
Yeah.
Like Joe Burrow's never played without elite weapons.
Yeah. I'm with you. I just feel like he's just. I mean, it's tough to say that. I mean, I get where you're going, man, but every quarterback needs to have something. But
he had to have those. Think about what kind of weapons that were in Ohio State, and he couldn't beat out. Who was it? It was Fields, right?
Yeah,
it was Fields at the time. He couldn't beat out Fields.
Yeah. I mean, from what I've seen, especially going against us, I think what I like about Burrow the best is I think he's more mobile than what people think he is. I think he can move out of the pocket. I think he's super smart. And he makes really, really good decisions, and he's accurate. Yeah. He had those are great qualities.
He's a better version of Tua.
Absolutely. Like if you look at when we played him, for instance, he played our defense so smart, man. And of course, offensive coordinator is responsible as well. But he could have forced the ball. He could have done sloppy plays.
He's so patient. His ability to not have to push things down the field. Just take the 3 yard, and be okay with it. Is what makes Joe Burrow so successful.
He didn't have to. He doesn't have to do too. He feels like he doesn't have to always be the guy. So he can let his teammates, take it to the next level, right? He give Jamar Chase the ball 5 yards and he'll do the rest. He's not trying to make every play about him, which I like. But I will say this too, though. I've seen games though where his offensive line, and we got to admit this too, his offensive line hasn't been the greatest, right? His offensive line,
but he also doesn't have the ability to get away.
And yes, I will say this though. When they pressure him, he has had some really bad games as well. 4 turnovers. I remember was it last year or the year before, week 1? I mean, terrible. 5 interceptions.
They always start bad. Then they get better as the season
then
goes.
they get going. But he's had some bad games that people tend to forget about. He's had some bad games in
playoffs, and his defense just carried him.
Right. So, but I still think that's accurate. As far as I go, I think he's number 3 right now. I think he's a smart, good quarterback. He's had a couple bad luck with injuries, but I don't mind him there.
Yeah, I'm with you, Jay. Physically, Josh is the most gifted one in the league. It's just mentally, you just need to keep him locked in. Yeah, that's where Josh needs to grow, is mentally. Okay, let's get back to your list. Sorry, I went down rabbit hole.
That's all right. No, you're good. Trevor Lawrence at 11, Kirk Cousins at 12.
Would you put Lawrence at 11?
Well, okay, so let's look at the list here for 16 at least, right? So you got Kyle Murray, Baker Mayfield, Aaron Rodgers, Jordan Love, Kirk Cousins, Trevor Lawrence. I think Jordan Love's getting a little bit too much love.
Yeah, for a half a season of good play.
Right.
I might put Rodgers at 11.
Yes.
And kick Lawrence and them down some. Because seriously, the last time Rodgers played, he still played well.
Almost MVP, right?
Yeah.
I agree with that. If healthy, right? We don't know yet. Maybe that's why he's 14.
But if we're playing that game with today's Stafford, I would probably move Rodgers
absolutely
up to 11 and kick because I don't think Lawrence, Cousins, and Love are all better than Rodgers. I don't
either. Not now. Now, of course, we'll see how Rodgers is after the when he comes back, because we don't know, right, how he's going to be after that injury. But I agree with you. I like Love. For me last year, second half, great. He had a really good second half.
He had a really
but
bad
first half was terrible. Like I remember Green Bay fans. I was talking to Green Bay fans. They were like wanting to bench him. He was so bad.
They wanted to, like he's not the guy.
He's not the guy. He's so and I'm like, oh, I don't. Yeah, he looks terrible. And they had receivers.
Yeah, it's that. What have you done for me lately, league? Same thing with earlier with CJ's so high. CJ had some really bad, like got lucky and had to, have some crazy throws to get to where he was. They barely made the playoffs.
Mm-hmm.
Like CJ was good last year. I don't think he was some superstar.
Yeah, I think I'll tell you what. I'll say this about CJ. Very impressed, like how I saw him last year. I thought he had a lot of Josh Allen tendencies. Like he made some really unbelievable plays. Like I was like, wow. Like watching Josh Allen his rookie year and watching CJ Stroud his rookie year, like very similar. Like crazy, getting out of harm's way and making some unbelievable throw. Like I was honestly, I was like, damn, what am I watching here? This guy is. I don't see it the same way as you do. Well, that's how I saw it. And I will say this though: year 2 is going to be an important year for him. Will he have second year sophomore struggles, or will he continue on the path where of being one of the top 5 quarterbacks in the NFL? I think he's on that path, but we'll see. It's year 2. We'll find out. He has a great surrounding cast. He has a really seems like a really good coach. And he just got better with Stephon Diggs. We can say what we want about Diggs, but Diggs is a veteran receiver who's going to bring that leadership as well to the team, and he's going to make plays for him. So we will see.
I'm not as high on it. I told you last season. He's going to have to prove it to me in year 2.
Yeah, that's fine. Yeah, totally. I'm with you.
This is a great catch by Beth. Where's Tua? How is Tua not above Cousins and Mayfield and Murray?
Where the hell is Tua? Have we
Purdy as well? You're telling me Baker Mayfield's better than Purdy and Tua.
Oh, there he is. 18.
Kyle Murray's better than Purdy and Tua.
Yeah, he has this list. This list is jacked up. I wish you know what? Me and Mikey might have to redo this list on another show, our own list, because I would not do it this way. Like I didn't see that. Like I almost I skipped him.
That's a big one too, Robert.
Yeah, like Cousins. Like I don't think Cousins.
Yeah,
I would not have Cousins where he's at either. Like I don't think Cousins. I think Cousins is descending. If anything, I just think his play has gone downhill. And he's with a team that doesn't even believe in him. They just drafted a quarterback. It's like I don't know, man.
Robert's got a point here too. CJ's gonna be playing a first place schedule, not a last place schedule this year.
Absolutely. So this, like I said, year 2, sophomore year, this will tell a lot about the direction that CJ Stroud is heading in as a quarterback, right?
Okay.
If he gets his team back in the playoffs, if he has another good season or a better season than he did, then I think we can start talking about CJ Stroud being up there in the top 10, top 5, like event. You know what I mean? If he has a bad year, or they don't make the playoffs and it's a lot because of his play. Yeah, then I'll say, you know what? No, there's, we'll see what year 3, but right now, not looking good. But right now, I like what I saw. How, that's what that's. I'll stick it with that.
So next week we're gonna come back and we're gonna have our own QB.
Yeah, absolutely, rankings. Absolutely. Because this
you can have do your QB rankings. I'll do my QB rankings, and we'll go through them next week.
Yeah, that's fine. Because this is
this is terrible.
He started off okay. It's gotten worse.
He put Matt Stafford at 5.
Yeah,
he really started off okay.
Right, you're right. Yeah, that is that one I don't get. The rest is I don't mind here, like Hurts and Press. You know what I mean? Like okay, Herbert, Lamar, I get, but obviously Allen. Like those are fine. But then he starts really. I think he threw it off to Stafford. Stafford. That's where
I think
it kind of
Dak is underrated at 8.
He is. I like Dak. I do, but I don't love him either. I don't love him either.
But looking here, there's not a ton of guys that are under him that I would take over him.
I don't think Cousins should be here. So
I don't either.
Yeah, like Cousins shouldn't be there.
Murray at 16, like you gotta be
how is no offense to Purdy, but how is Tua below Purdy? How is Tua below?
How is
Mayfield?
Purdy below Mayfield? Purdy was great last year.
Tua. I mean, listen, I'm not a big Tua guy, but if we're gonna be real, didn't he lead the league in passing yards last year? How is he way the fuck down there? I mean, like, is he? Wow, like I would be so disrespected if I was Tua. Yeah, go ahead.
You have Caleb already at 20.
Yeah, how are you gonna? Right? He hasn't even started a single game.
Played a game yet,
and he's ahead of Derek Carr. Even like I'll have Derek Carr.
Derek Carr is not good at all.
Yeah, but we don't know what Caleb Williams going to be like.
Justin Fields, who's been a backup over Will Levis.
Right? Yeah, that's.
You have Michael Penix over Jaden Daniels. Like, are you kidding me?
Ryan Tannehill, free agent.
Anthony Richardson.
Tannehill's not even playing. He's better than Anthony.
You have Ryan Tannehill over Anthony Richardson, who's a starter.
Right. He's a free agent.
We only got 4 games, but oh my god!
Don't forget about Flacco with the Colts here.
Minshew's better than half these guys.
Minshew's better than Flacco. Minshew's better than Winston right now.
He's better than Bryce Young. Better than Sam Darnold.
Absolutely. God, Sam Darnold. God,
wow.
I feel so bad for that guy.
So I'm not going 40 deep next week. I'll do the top 32.
25. You want to do 32? All right, we'll do 32.
We can do top 25.
Want to do 25? All right, we'll do 25. So, my God, that list is horrendously wrong. I mean, like, Chris Sims, what are you doing, bro? Like, where are you at when you're doing this list, man?
Yeah, Scott, I think that's one of the biggest that no one's talking about. Cryptic Diggs is now out of Josh Allen's emotional headspace. Like,
not only that, not only that, he doesn't need to have to answer questions about it.
Yeah,
that's the other thing too. Like,
he also doesn't have to force him the ball. Feel like he has to get him the ball, or it's gonna be a problem.
Have to deal with him on a sideline, like worry about that, or in the locker room now, apparently, because week 1 he was in his face. And then the offseason, like it. I get it. Listen, it's a quarterback's job, but quarterbacks take that responsibility on when things happen outside, whatever, that they have to, media is always going to go to them. Right. And I get that. That's what comes with the big money. I'm okay with that.
Yeah.
But damn, dude, like you're his number one. You're supposed to be that guy also that protects your quarterback. It's not like you're a defensive player. You're on the other side of the ball. Like, dude, like help your guy out. Like, he's getting all the heat and you're making it way worse on him by what you're doing and acting a fool.
And not, I said not saying anything. Like
not saying, not sticking up for him.
Down with his brother.
Absolutely. And I said that. Didn't I say that? I said it 2 years in a row. I'm like, listen, I get it. It's the way he digs personalities, but at the same time, he's really just kind of making it worse by not saying anything, by not even.
Josh always stuck up for him. Never threw him under the bus. Always went to bat for Diggs.
Always, yeah. So it had.
I'm glad he's gone.
It had to go.
I'm glad he's gone. Josh can move on, and
I hope this is a
chemistry with somebody else.
Yeah, and I hope this is a lesson.
And I hope Diggs plays well. I don't hate the guy.
Do. But I also hope that other players on the team now saw what happened. Right, and understand like that's not how you do things.
Yeah,
and I feel like now, mind you, I don't know how if Chase Claypool makes team, I don't know how he'll be because he's not been on this team. But I know, like, I could tell, like, for instance, Khalil Shakir. Let's say he has a dynamic year. Let's just say he does. Like, I don't see him being that turning into Diggs where he's this kind of guy. Honestly, I don't catch that vibes from him. I don't catch it from Dalton Kincaid. Like, these guys, for me, they're humble guys. Like, even if they're turning into superstars, I don't see their personalities being like that. You know what I mean? And then the young guys coming in, like Keon Coleman, like, I hope he sees what happened, right, and goes, yo, like, even if I become this dude, like, this is how I shouldn't act. This is how I should act, and this is what I shouldn't do. Because look what happens.
But
right?
Keon also comes from that CD Lamb family tree, and CD is not that guy. He's a true superstar. He still hasn't gotten his money yet, and he's just like whatever.
You're right.
Quiet.
He hasn't acted a fool. Right.
You know,
I'm with you. So I think we got a bunch of good, humble dudes, and that's why I also said too about Chase Claypool. I feel like he's really, at least from what I've seen in his interviews, he's really humbled himself, and that for me is why I think that dude's going to make the team, because I think he already has everything you want in a receiver. But we'll see. We'll see when training camp comes.
Yeah, it's also, look at MVS. MVS signed with Buffalo because he had dinner with Josh. Loved the personality and wanted to sign here.
Right.
Knowing he wasn't going to be one of the top 3 guys.
Yep.
He was just going to be a guy. Scott, I'd love to see AFC Championship Bills and Texans. Watching Dig stare at the Bills celebrate at the end. Oh,
that'd be great.
Yikes.
You know who else you got to give credit to since signing here? Von Miller. He's given Josh Allen so much love.
Yeah.
Right. And that's one thing Diggs stopped doing 2 years ago. Right. You got your edge rusher coming here.
Constantly talks about. So did Poyer and Hyde and all those. All they do
showing that dude love. Always. This guy, nothing. Right. Nothing. He very, very, very minimal. About what he did for him.
Year 1, he was very big on that's my guy. I don't know what this other Josh Allen guy that everyone talks about. But after that, like when they were on the cover together, Sports Illustrated cover together.
Yeah. Shit changes when you're not happy, boy. You see your true colors. So he showed them and now he's gone. So it is what it is. I'm glad. I like the team we have. I gotta be honest. I like what I see so far. I like their personalities.
I'm interested to see how it's put together.
Right. I'm interested to see what Khalil Shakir's how he'll take that next step, because this is a big year for him, because most people, right, at least for me and at least from what I see, they have a lot of big hopes for Khalil Shakir. There's going to be pressure on him.
I think it's going to be Kincaid and Shakir, but you know who's going to be quietly is probably going to be one of the X factors is Samuel.
I think so too.
Quietly.
I think so too. I think people
I think Coleman's going to have a good year, but I think Samuel's going to quietly have a bigger role than people think.
I do too. I'm with you. I'm totally with you on that one.
Yep. Scott Blake says, "Have I told you lately Vaughn will be the comeback player of the year with 14 sacks?" Yes.
Bro, if he has 14 sacks, he's not going anywhere.
He'll be back the following year.
Right. So, just throwing that out there.
It's doable with our revamped defensive line.
No.
If we get anything more than what we got from our defensive line last year, it's possible.
Sure.
So let's see. Did you have anything else to show?
I did. Remember last week we talked about the ESPN. We talked about the ESPN defensive rankings.
ESPN, they're all going to be low. We know it's ESPN. They hate us.
We have the defensive rankings from ESPN. So here you go, guys. They hate us. They hate us. So here we go. All right, we're going to first start with the offensive line, Mikey. Mm-hmm. So before we get there, what do you think?
I'm guessing because they're doing the rankings, right? I'm guessing they have us around 15.
15. All right. Will Mikey be correct? 23.
Okay.
Oh, boy. I mean, how? We were one of the best offensive lines last year. We were top, top 5, top 10? We were up there. We were
top 10 last year.
Right. Consider, with PFF. So how are we dipping that? Yeah. We lost one guy. All of a sudden we're dipping. All right. I don't agree with that.
To 23.
Right. Running backs. Mikey, what do you think?
After that, 20.
20. Let's see. 23. They like that 23 for us, guys. So
so they must not like Ray Davis at all.
Yeah. I once again,
I actually think we got better than we were last year.
I do too.
James Cook was a top 5 running back.
Exactly. And they're probably factoring, I guess our offensive line is going to be bad, right? Apparently. So maybe they're factoring in that part, but
if we would have lost Cromer, I can give you 23.
Right.
But we still have Cromer. I don't see us dropping.
And they're not even factoring Josh Allen still run. So right? I'm going to say, I'll be fair because I'm not big on James Cook. I'll say 15. I don't think we have the greatest running back room, but I don't think it's the worst either. I would say in the middle of the pack.
Yeah.
And I'll say 15 is fair, but 23, come on. Wide receivers. Oh,
I'm guessing 29, 30, maybe 32. They might give us the worst wide receiver.
The worst in the league. All right, here we go. 30. Yikes. Yikes. One of the worst.
Such an unknown.
Man, we are, according to ESPN, guys.
We're going to go like 2 and 15, according to ESPN.
Right. We have one of the worst receiver rooms in the NFL, man, according to ESPN.
Only two teams have worse wide receiver rooms than us. I'm interested to know who those teams are.
Who are they? Yeah, I am too. My God, that's terrible.
I'm guessing the Chargers are probably one of them.
Yeah. Tight ends, what do you think?
I'm guessing top 10.
Yeah, I would think, right? I'm gonna we'll see.
Everyone seems to like our tight ends.
3. Okay. Wow, ESPN. They're loving our tight ends.
We have two, because we have 2 of them. We don't just have one.
We do. I agree with you there too. And I think they're thinking that Kincaid's going to be the primary guy, and the rest of receivers apparently are just so awful. But yeah, I'm good with that.
Robert comes in and says,
yeah, go ahead.
Robert comes in and says, do you feel Claypool could play tight end 12 personnel at times? I think they could use him and bring him in to do that. I don't know how much they will, because they have Kincaid and Knox, but I can see us going to a 3, lining up in a 3 tight ends heavy set, and then motioning either Claypool or Knox or Kincaid out to run just a standard,
I mean, you could. Yeah, and you could, when we talked about this a week or 2 ago, Quentin Morris, you could cut him if you go that route too, and have Claypool. Really, you're filling,
and that gives you an extra receiver. The only thing is Morris plays special teams.
I get that. I'm just saying, like you could also do that as well,
because Gilliam's also could be considered a tight end.
Yeah, that's true too. And we don't ever use. I wonder why they keep Gilliam. I don't know, man. If they used him more in fullback, I'd be all up for it, because I think
he's
the fullback
a special teams guy. That's why.
Yeah, I get that too. But man, it's like, dude, I wish they would use him more in the fullback position.
Let's see if
Brady does that.
Brady does that. All right, quarterback. I'm gonna say 2.
You think it's 2? All right, let's see. Wow, you know your stuff, Mikey. They gave us 2.
Well, I'm just thinking only person that's better than Josh is Patrick right now.
And that's
so I would put him at 2.
So they were right on. They were, I think, pretty accurate on a few, but
I don't think Mitch is that. I don't think he's one of the worst backup quarterbacks. I think he's one of the better backup quarterbacks.
I do too, and I think he works in this system. I think that's why he's back here. Like, clearly, that's why he's back. I didn't think he was terrible in Pittsburgh. They were a young team, and their offensive coordinator was terrible, by the way, in Pittsburgh. So that didn't help him either. And look, they moved on from their quarterback already, didn't they? Right?
Yeah.
So I mean, I don't know. But you're right. I like our backup. I'm totally good with
Kenny Pickett is somewhere else. They now have Fields and Russell Wilson is their quarterback.
Oh, you're right. Yeah. So what does that tell you? I mean, come on, they couldn't get anything right there. So, and their offense coordinator got fired, right? They finally fired their OC.
He has more accolades. He's not better. He has more accolades. That's why he's considered the number 1 quarterback.
Yeah, and he always seems to come up in clutch moments, man. You got to.
And the big one is right here. The second one, he has the better coach.
Absolutely, without a doubt.
He's a better coach,
without a doubt.
At the end of the day, you give Josh Allen Andy Reid. Think what Andy Reid could do with Josh's talents. But he could scheme up.
Forget about it. Yeah, that's it. That's all I got.
All right. Well, we made it an hour 15.
We did. And guys,
in the middle of the off season with nothing to talk about.
Nothing to talk about. And I did a show earlier too, Mikey. I was on here for an hour and a half. So we are going to have that 53. We're still doing it in the process of building the super, the all Buffalo Bills team.
The all Madden
like
team.
an all Madden Buffalo Bills team. So We should have that in a couple weeks, right?
Yeah.
We should finally have that up. And then next week we'll do our own quarterback top 25.
Yeah.
So we'll still have some stuff, obviously, but yeah, it's dry season. This is where it's
I'm
a little dry
guessing
for
the
next couple weeks.
19th is when we'll have the All Madden team, because
Okay,
that's the last Friday before training camp opens.
Ooh, so there you go, guys. So yeah, 2 weeks, right?
We have
About
2
2
shows before training camp opens.
All right, guys. So we'll have we'll definitely have that all 53 up. And next week we'll do the top 25 and we'll have other stuff for you. So appreciate you guys tuning in as always. And tune in to Tuesdays, Nuclear Heat Wave podcast at 7. Tune in to Mafia Talk every Wednesday at 8. And look for Mafia Talk J in that 3-on-3 basketball, man. It's going to be pretty epic over there. Stevie Johnson in Buffalo. He'll talk to you more about it. And yeah, by the way, Big Cuz, man, he's feeling better. So shout out to Big Cuz,
awesome.
man. If you're hearing this, man, I'm glad you're feeling better, brother. So we're out of here, man.
10 to 5 for his. Yeah,
There
have fun at that day. Have fun at that, butter.
Yeah, and he'll talk to you guys more on Wednesday about it, I'm sure. So, all right, guys, we're out of here, man. And we appreciate everybody tuning in. And once again, man, we love you. We're out of here. Peace. Go Bills.
Okay.
Oh, man, that's what he says. Later. Peace.